I want to do like kind of a final review of this. So let's see what the tutorial tells you have learned, and then maybe I just leave a couple of words, about what my thoughts are. So during this course, you build the Scrumdinger and learn about the fundamentals of Swift UI. So you arranged groups of views to create more complex views and describe the appearance of your interface using the Swift UI declarative syntax. I think on that aspect, I'm very happy with it. The way the app, it's not too complex, but it has enough use cases where you can actually see how the Swift UI layout works from a beginner perspective, how you can basically start working in a view and then starting split parts of it into different views that then you use on the main one, and how you pass data to it and all that stuff. We have used all the kind of stacks, which is the main thing that you want to use. We even use lists and scroll views. So we covered all the basics in terms of UI, and not even that, but we also use the shape and all that stuff. So this tutorial is very complete on that sense. Like, I think that after this, you pretty much have a good grasp of Swift UI, on the UI part of Swift UI, because Swift UI is a UI framework, but it has more behind it. And what else it has is, like, it says you establish a single source of truth for your data, and that was shared through your UI hierarchy. That was probably the thing I was most curious about, to see how they explain how they pass data around, how the advice they give on that sense. So I'm very happy that what they teach on this tutorial is have a single source of truth. They put the single source of truth on the app, the root level of your hierarchy, and then you just pass bindings all the way down. And when you need something that is just local in a view, you use a state. And if you have something local that it's basically a class and not just data, like the typical view model or stuff like that, you use an observable object, and they even teach that. They teach how it's automatically published and all that stuff. So on that aspect, there's probably more you need to learn in terms of how to make these observable objects, use combine and all that stuff. But I think they covered the basics pretty well. They even use some on change and on receive modifiers on the view to hook logic into events and stuff like that. So I think on that sense, it's very good, And for somebody that has been using the basically point-free composable architecture for a long time, since it was released, even before that, it's very interesting to see that Apple is taking a similar approach. Of course, it's not the same. You don't have this whole thing about a unidirectional data flow, because of course they're using bindings everywhere, and you don't have a single place where the logic happens. Even in this application, everything was kind of spread on the views, and we stored the history and all the stuff just on the onAppear of the view, not even in a separate method and stuff like that. So for example, if you want to test this, good luck, but at that point, it's where the point-free architecture can jump in, I always talk about it because for me it's the best one out there, but there are other solutions that you can use. But I think for a beginner's tutorial, the solutions they give and the way they explain it, it's the way you should approach it, which it's not all something that we can always say from Apple tutorials and guides. But in this case, I think I agree with the philosophy that they have been sharing, which is super useful and very good in my opinion. And then you use AV Foundation to produce audio feedback, responses. Yeah. So this one, not much to talk about. It's nice that they not only show about, yes, UI and how to pass data, but yeah, in a real world app, you need to integrate other frameworks and stuff like that. And they showed how to integrate with other frameworks, wrap them in things like observable objects, so you can hook them into your UI and all that stuff, As we have seen on the past few episodes, some specific decisions I didn't agree with, like keeping the state and outside of the view instead of wrapping it in this object from AV Foundation. But they are all very small details, and probably something that you don't want to complicate in a tutorial. I'm not sure, if something takes these things too literally, there's nothing a tutorial writer can do, you always need to approach it, I think, from the perspective of, somebody like novice, it's reading it and you need to give it the good advice, but at some point everybody needs to think for you on your own and actually realize that it's a tutorial and there is more after that, that you need to keep learning and pursuing perfection, so that's up to you. And I don't think that we can say that Apple has done a bad decision with some of these concerns I had, not concerns, like kind of like feedback I would have given, which I've been giving through the entire tutorial series. But all that feedback, I think it was appropriate. It's like some things maybe they can improve, but I think this tutorial is probably one of the best tutorials out there. If somebody is asking me how do I start learning Swift UI, my answer will be start with the Swift UI Essentials, I think it's called, which is the first tutorial they did. And once you have finalized that, which it was going to teach about Swift UI, the API, the mentality behind a declarative UI framework and all that stuff, then I will tell you, just jump into this and do this tutorial and you are going to know everything you need, honestly. Like after that, it's like just keep growing as everybody, like keep learning everything that's out there. But this is a very good basis. I don't want to say you can learn from other sources of the community and all that stuff. That's fine. But sometimes we tend to think that we need to go to third-party sources to learn some things, when often I always recommend just read the official sources, So that's why I wanted to do all this series, to formalize on my head, okay, are the official sources good? Are they good enough, or do I have start to recommend other things, And, well, it turns out, in my opinion, this is the best tutorial to start in Swift UI. That's it. I mean, there is not much else to say. I have other, like, some things that the tutorial complains, the fact that you need to start all the time from a project, from a sample project they give you. I don't like that. As I said many times in these videos, I prefer to keep growing the code I've been writing, because if sometimes I write some code and on the tutorial the syntax of it's not what I like, the formatting, I tweak the formatting and everything, I really don't want to drop that and start from a sample project on the next episode. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So that's one of the biggest pain points, and you can see if that's my biggest pain point, it means this tutorial is awesome, because that's such a nitpick. But I'm very happy with it. I don't know. If you've been following this, tell me what you think. You can drop me a comment on YouTube, or like even just send me a tweet on my Twitter account. And yeah, just tell me what you think, and if you will recommend this, or actually you think there are better resources in there. I know there are a lot of resources out there, but to be honest, I think if we can recommend official sources, I think that's always, nice. It also is telling Apple, you are doing a good job, keep doing it, which I think it's important, because we always complain about Apple documentation and all that stuff. But if when they do the right thing, we should make it obvious. We should tell people, guys, that's the best thing you can do to learn. So they hear what's next, connect with others on the developer forums, fair enough. Search for Swift developer meetups in your area, yeah, sure, meetups now with COVID. And using the Swift community forum, that's cool, yes. And get inspired with developer, yeah, well, not much to hear. I always recommend you read the human interface guideline, that's super important. Swift UI does give you a lot for free, a lot, to be honest, but it's always good to know. Again, super cool that they talk about accessibility, and even cooler that they talk about localization. This is two aspects that every developer should just do by default. Doesn't matter if you are thinking on like translating to 100 languages, even if you do it in your native language as another one, it doesn't matter, But at least keep in mind, because otherwise it's going to be a pain in the ass in the long term. Not done with Scrumdinger? Yeah, challenge yourself and add new features like using EventKit to schedule meetings and receive reminders. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, at this point you're just making a full-featured Scrum application, which I've done in the past, and I don't want to repeat. Because, yeah, it's interesting, but it's not the most exciting thing, Basically, that's all what I had to say about the Swift UI tutorials from Apple. As I said, I give it a thumbs up, and that's it. So, thank you all for watching, thank you all for following me, and see you all next time.